Times Square lost over $200 million last year to scams, theft, and abandoned retail space. $200 million just vanished from what's supposed to be the most valuable real estate in America. Let me tell you how the crossroads of the world became the crossroads of chaos. Times Square, the center of the universe. For over a century, this has been the place where America shows off. In the 1920s, it became the first electrically lit street in the country, a technological marvel that drew crowds just to stare at the glow. By the 1950s, every major brand wanted a billboard here. It wasn't just advertising, it was proof you'd made it. New Year's Eve, Broadway premieres, the ball drop watched by 1 billion people worldwide. This is where sailors kissed nurses when World War II ended, where protests happened, where history gets made. 50 million people visit Times Square every year. That's more than the entire population of Spain passing through a few city blocks. They come for the energy, the chaos, the feeling that anything can happen. The screens glow brighter than the sun. The noise never stops. It's overwhelming and electric and alive in a way almost nowhere else on Earth is. Everyone wants to say they've been to Times Square. So what's going wrong? Here's what nobody tells you about Times Square. The moment you stop moving, you become a target. Take what happened to one family from Ohio. They stopped to take a photo of the M&M store. A man dressed as a monk approached them, put wooden bracelets on the kids' wrists, and said it was a blessing, free. Then he demanded $80. When they refused, he followed them for 2 blocks, chanting about bad karma. They paid him $50 just to make it stop. This family's story isn't unique. Last year, Times Square scams generated an estimated $12 million. That's more than some of the actual stores make. Let me walk you through how they work. The characters you see everywhere, Elmo, Spider-Man, the Statue of Liberty, they're not employees. They're freelancers working the crowd for cash. Here's the playbook. Wave, smile, pose for photos. The moment the camera clicks, the price gets announced. $20, $40, sometimes more. But I didn't agree to pay anything. Doesn't matter. Now there are 3 of them around you. They're loud, aggressive. Other tourists are staring. You're embarrassed, overwhelmed. Most people just pay. NYPD arrested 16 performers last year for harassment. By next week, 16 new ones replace them. The money's too easy. And here's the part that'll blow your mind. Those fake character performers. Some of them are pulling in $300 to $500 per day. That's more than many Broadway actors make per show. There's no audition, no talent required, just a cheap costume and the willingness to be aggressive. Welcome to the new Times Square economy. The CD hustle is elegant in its simplicity. Someone hands you a CD, free mixtape, support local artists. They sign it with a Sharpie, personalize it to you. The moment it touches your hand, they want $20. You try to give it back, but they won't take it. Nah man, I already signed it, that's for you. They follow you down the block. They escalate the situation quickly. Sometimes they even grab your wrist. One tourist reported being surrounded by 4 guys until she handed over cash. It works because it happens so fast you don't have time to think. The comedy club trap is my personal favorite because it's technically legal, which makes it genius. Promoters hand out free comedy show tickets all day. The tickets look real, the club exists, everything seems legitimate. You show up excited and learn there's a mandatory 2-drink minimum. $40 minimum, $70 at some places. The drinks are watered down and you can't leave without paying because the bouncer's blocking the door. Is it a scam? The clubs say no. Ask the tourists leaving and you'll get a different answer. These aren't the only scams, just the biggest. Fake tour tickets, rigged games, petition scams where they steal your credit card info. Times Square has become a masterclass in separating tourists from their money. But the scams are just the surface. Something deeper is breaking. Times Square isn't the most dangerous part of New York, not even close. But here's what makes it different. 50 million people crammed into a few blocks creates the perfect hunting ground. Pickpocketing is up 32% since 2019. That's not a guess, that's NYPD data. You stop to take a photo of the billboards. Someone bumps into you, your phone's gone. Wallet disappears. You don't even feel it happen. The chaos provides the perfect cover. Then there's the violence. Most of it starts small. Someone steps on a bag, cuts in front of a street performer, bumps into someone taking a selfie. Suddenly there's shouting, shoving, phones come out to record. Within minutes, the video's on TikTok with 2 million views, and the caption, "Times Square is out of control." Is it really spiraling? The statistics show moderate increases, not apocalyptic ones. happens, but perception matters. Every viral fight video makes people more nervous. Every news story about pickpockets makes tourists clutch their bags tighter. The NYPD added a dedicated Times Square unit, more cameras, more foot patrols. But when you've got this many people in one place, you can't stop everything. The thieves know that. Shoplifting's become so bad that some retailers gave up fighting it. Organised crews target stores during peak hours when staff can't keep up. They walk in, fill bags, walk out. Some stores lose more to theft than they make in profit. Which brings us to the biggest problem nobody's talking about. Remember when Times Square was wall-to-wall retail? When every major brand wanted a flagship store here no matter what it cost? That era is completely over now. Gap has closed its doors. American Eagle downsized significantly. Foot Locker is completely gone. Dozens of specialty shops have shuttered. The pandemic started it, but the problems go deeper. Rents in Times Square can hit $4,000 per square foot annually, some of the highest in the world. That math only works if people actually buy things. They don't shop here anymore. Tourists come to Times Square to take photos, not shop. They stand in front of the M&M store, snap a selfie, and leave. The foot traffic is there, but it's hollow. Window shopping without the shopping. A former retail manager described the problem. We'd have 5,000 people walk through on a Saturday. Maybe 200 bought something. You can't pay Times Square rent on that. Every store that closes means dozens of jobs lost. It means less foot traffic to nearby restaurants. It means empty windows that reflect the street instead of displaying products. The irony? Times Square is more crowded than ever, but it's making less money. The lights still glow, the screens still flash. But underneath, the economics are collapsing. People keep asking, when did Times Square get so weird? There's no single moment. It's been death by 1,000 cuts. The pandemic emptied it out. When people came back, they came back different. Tighter budgets, more skeptical, less willing to spend. Social media changed the equation. You don't need to buy something at the Disney store to prove you were there. You just need a photo in front of it. The experience became the product, and experiences are free. Enforcement got weaker. The aggressive street performers, the scammers, the organised shoplifting rings, they all learned there are no real consequences. Get arrested, get released, come back tomorrow. Here's the number that tells you everything. Times Square generates $4.6 billion in economic activity annually, but an estimated $200 million of that is lost to theft, scams, and abandoned retail space. That's nearly 5% of the total just disappearing. The city added more police, more cameras, a dedicated cleanup task force, but it's clearly not enough to stop the bleeding. Times Square isn't going to disappear. It's too iconic, too central to New York's identity, too valuable, but the version that exists today isn't the version people remember. It's thinner, more stressed, more hostile. That family from Ohio who got scammed by the fake monk at the beginning of this video, their experience isn't unusual anymore. It's becoming the norm. They saved for 2 years for that trip. Times Square was supposed to be the highlight. Now when the kids ask about New York, that's what they remember. Not the lights, not the energy, just feeling afraid and ripped off. That's the real cost here, not the money, the feeling. Times Square still calls itself the center of the world. But if the city doesn't fix what's breaking underneath the surface, the scams, the crime, the economic collapse, eventually people will stop showing up. And then what's left? Just bright lights with nobody there to see them. So here's my question for you. Is Times Square still worth visiting? Let me know in the comments. If you found this video eye-opening, like and subscribe. It keeps this channel going and helps more people see what's really happening in the places we think we know. Thanks for watching. And if you're heading to Times Square, keep your wallet close.